Okay, this video is going to look at how you can make Kahoot, which in my opinion is still probably the best and certainly the go-to app for quickly assessing student knowledge, maybe at the end of a topic or a lesson. First thing to note is that to actually make your own you need the link getkahoot.com. Kahoot.it is the play link. We're going to look at making our own today, so we're going to go to getkahoot.com, which should take us through and we can sign in to account, which will just take me a second or two to do. And then once we're in, we've got a number of options. We can go to Kahoot, we've already created up there. We can search the public library for Kahoot, so whatever topic you're looking for, you might be able to find a quiz that's already been created, or we can actually make our own down the bottom. Now Jumble's a new thing that Kahoot have brought out, which is actually quite useful with one or two limitations which we'll come on to in a little while. But for now we're going to look at how to make a basic quiz ourselves. So we click on create and we give the quiz a title, and we can give it a brief description. Doesn't really matter what we call it. We can just set something very simply up for now. We can make it either visible to everybody. For now I'm going to go only me, because it's not something that I'm going to publish at this present moment in time, and we can give it an indication of the level that we're talking about. I'm not going to use any publicly available resources, so I'm going to leave that blank. If I wanted to, I could upload an image, which I think I'll probably do. Which is in there now, and then I can go and start creating the quiz. So I can add a question. The time limit seems to default for 20 seconds. I'm going to change it to 10 simply because the questions are going to be fairly straightforward, and I can change that. You can see obviously you can make it anything up to 2 minutes long that people have got to answer a question. Generally I find Kahoot best for sort of short answer questions, so I tend not to use the longer ones. So let's think of a question. Something that's going to be appropriate to us, and we can type in some answers. Putting some of Mr. Garrity's favourite football teams in there. Okay, oops. There we go. So we've got 4 options now. Clearly he supports no, he doesn't really. Clearly he supports Liverpool. So all I'm going to do is just tick the box next to Liverpool. Now Kahoot will automatically shuffle this question, and Liverpool won't always be the first answer. And you'll see what happens to that in just a moment. Again, I can add an image to be displayed when that question's up if I want to. I'm going to skip that for now. And then you can see that the question's listed here. Okay, if I can change the time limit just on a quick edit there. I can go back to edit the question, or I can duplicate the question if I wanted to, for example get a question up quickly, and then I could just go in and edit question 2. So if we changed that to, for example, another member of staff, one thing I've forgotten, that's bad of me, bad grammar, the English department will be after me. I've forgotten the question mark. I'm going to change a few options now because I don't support any of those teams. There we go, that'll do. And we'll put somebody else in just to mix it up a little bit. Okay, so that's clearly the correct answer. I'm just going to click next. That quickly has generated a second question very quickly. So it's very fast to create quizzes in Kahoot, and as I say, it's really useful tool, and I come back to it time and time again. I'm just going to save the quiz for now with only 2 questions. Now, one of the strengths that Kahoot's got is the fact that you can preview it. So you could have a mobile phone and you can play the game together, but it actually gives you this split screen view. So you've actually got a mock-up of a mobile phone here, and then you've actually got the teacher's view here. So if we're going to play one-to-one, you can scroll down and look at the options if you want. So there are various things. We're not going to worry about those for now. We're just dealing with the basics, setting up a quiz. We're just going to go for classic player, It'll say ready to join in just a second, and it will give you a game pin. I'm going to just mute for a minute because the music does get a little bit annoying. So basically this is the teacher's view, and this is what the students have either on their mobile phone or on their desktop PC or whatever device they're using. So you go over here and you just instruct them to enter that game pin. So you go over here, enter the game pin, and they connect to the game. Now you set a nickname. Now if their nickname is inappropriate, I'm just going to put that in for now, you can in the lobby click on the name and it kicks them out straight away. Okay, so if somebody puts something in that you don't necessarily want to be displayed on the whiteboard, then you've got that power as a teacher to get rid of them. Okay, oops, I should have put the game pin in again there, it threw me out to there. So 5. Okay, so let's enter that again. Okay, let's put another name in this time. Okay, so we're in. All the players will appear on here as and when they're connected. So once we're ready, the teacher presses start, and this is what the students see. So it says, "Are you ready?" And then the first question is going to come up: which teams must go to support? I'll go back and put the question mark on there in a second. We know that's Liverpool, so we're going to press the red answer key on our thing, and it gives me points based on how quickly I answer as well. And obviously you could see all the different answers if people answered something else. I'm going to get the next question wrong on purpose. This will show a league table of all the students after each question, and it tells the students at the bottom here exactly where they are. So we'll go to question 2. We're going to get this question wrong on purpose. So we're going to click on the blue there. Oh dear, no, I've lost. But because I'm the only person in, I'm obviously still on first place. Okay, so I've come first. Now you can get the results out of Kahoot. You can show some feedback. So you can get people to rate your quiz. We can show the scoreboard, feedback as well. As I said, we can gain. We can save the results, so we can download it eventually, and there we go. We get this, pull the results off in a spreadsheet format, which will open up eventually if my laptop's not too slow. And if this was a class, you could see all of the students with the scores that they got. Laptop's being a little bit slow. You could see all of the and click on the right tab. You can see a summary of the tab, and you could see the different questions. So we'll scroll across the, oops, gone a bit far. We'll see across there. You can see colour coded very quickly the questions that we got right and got wrong. So you can actually get quite a lot of analytics out of Kahoot as well. This is one thing they've really improved since it first came out. So that can be really useful to a teacher in the classroom as well. Okay, so we'll get rid of that for now. But that's one really useful feature of Kahoot. Sorry, I'd meant to rate that while I was here. Did I learn something? Of course I did. And tell me how you feel. And those feedbacks come up on here again straight away. Okay, so that's the basics of creating and playing a quiz. I'm going to close this tab down now and go back to this screen. I'm going to say I'm done because I've already previewed it. And you can see my example quiz sat there. Just a couple of other features. I'm going to go in and create one of these Jumble quizzes because that's an interesting new feature that Kahoot have recently brought out. It is really good apart from one thing. Now you have to, when you create a Jumble quiz, only create a Jumble quiz. So what would have been a brilliant feature, and I hope this is something that Kahoot, oops, sorry, not put my audience in. I hope this is something that Kahoot will add very soon, is you can add a Jumble question. So it might be something along the lines of order the following words to create the QEGS values statement. Okay, and then we would have question, give, explore, succeed. Again, it's going to mix those up a little bit, so they'll be automatically randomised as it said here. Now, one of the features that they've really missed a trick is you can only do jumble quizzes, so that means that you can't put a jumble question in a normal Kahoot quiz. Now, that would have been fantastically useful if they could have done that. I'm just going to quickly go in and preview that so you can see what it looks like in exactly the same way that we did before. We're just going to load the quiz up, and then we're going to create a game pin, and we're going to access it in that manner, which hopefully will be any second now. I'm going to play it in classic mode as that's the only one that's available to you. So then on our test mobile phone, we're going to type in the game pin 681049, and we're going to enter, and we're going to go Bob. Okay, so same again, we're going to start that, and you'll see the difference in this game mode, which is a really useful game mode. So we've got to put the sentences in, the words rather, in the right order. So question is first, so that's going to get dragged into there. Give, explore, and succeed, and then when we're done, we press the Kahoot button. Okay, that tells us we've got it right. We did it very quickly, so we've got 806 points. As I say, really useful game mode. Would have been much better if it could have been a type of question now. Hope that's something Kahoot will add in the future, because it's a really useful type of question, but you probably just don't want a quiz that's only got jumble questions in it. It'd be great to be able to mix it around with standard quizzes. Other things that you can do on Kahoot while we're here is you can view past results that you've used. You can create surveys and discussions. There are other tools that do that as well, and I haven't really explored Kahoot to see how beneficial they are in that. But they're adding more and more features all the time. It's still, as I said earlier, Kahoot is still the #1 go-to thing for very quick assessment. One thing that I can certainly guarantee is that the students really enjoy doing Kahoots. You can feel the excitement in the classroom when they're playing it, and it continues to be a fantastic tool, and I hope it continues to develop